LG has knocked this one. Oh, you. I just knocked it out of the park, cracking this. I really don't believe it. Take the case off for 30 seconds, and I break the thing. Hey, what's going on, guys? It is Michael Panetta with Tech Examined, back at you with another video, and today we are checking out the LG G4. Could it be one of the best of the year? Let's find out. So I've been using this phone for quite a few weeks now, and I must say I am super impressed with it. I'm gonna break this down into a few segments that I read when we were doing the giveaway of the LG G4 on what you guys thought were the most important things that you loved about this phone. First things first, we have the camera. Oh boy, the camera. You guys are just going nuts about the camera. It's all about the camera. The camera, the camera, the camera, DSLR, this camera, it's awesome. So what is it about this camera? Is it the sensor? Is it the megapixels? Is it the processor? Well guys, it is all of it. LG just knocked this one out of the park with the camera, people touting DSLR quality. Well, is that true? Well, you saw my video between the S6 and the G4, and many of you really like the G4 quality and what it was right out of the box. Well, not only can you just use this on auto, which most people would be more than happy with, and the quality of the pictures is just perfect, but the manual features on this, also something that people can use if you want to add your own touches to it and change up where you're at just to make it look that much better. This is touting a 16 megapixel rear-facing camera, f1.8 with a focal length of 28 millimeters, which equates to a 35 millimeter, which is pretty darn good. The sensor is a 1 to 2.6 inch, 4K video at 30 frames per second, 1080p video also at 30 frames per second, but if you want to go for that 60p FPS super crisp video, that would be you, Tomas. That is in 720, so you're not getting the 4K or the 1020, but it still is quality video. The camera also touts an optic image stabilization, which is okay. You can definitely see a little bit of a wobbliness on the sides of the video, but all in all, it does a pretty darn good job. The front of this is also great for people who want to do selfies, and one of the more popular things these days, Periscope or Meerkat. It gives great quality when you're on there talking to people and they can see what you're talking about, and you look good too. There are some gimmicks that they have on the front-facing camera, like a beauty function. It's, again, gimmicky, something you're probably never really gonna use, but it's fun to look at. People go, ooh, ah, for the one time that you've taken a look at it, but meh. Great 8 megapixel front-facing camera, and the sensor running that definitely does a good job. Next up, we have to talk about the display, and I'm going to incorporate this with the design as well a little bit, but the display itself is 5.5 inch, and the reason why I say a little bit of the design, because the way that they built this, it's pretty much all screen, the roundness of the body on the back, which just makes this a pleasure to hold, and it doesn't feel like you're gonna fall out of your hand or you're dealing with an overly large phone. But the resolution on this thing is amazing. 1440 by 2560, 538 ppi on this. Just sharp, vibrant colors. When you're watching videos or looking at pictures that you took on this phone, it just looks absolutely amazing, and it gives you true replication of the colors that you're looking at when you're taking pictures. It has a pretty tough screen on the front of this with the Corning Gorilla Glass 3. I always suggest a screen protector on all phones because you never know when you're gonna drop it. It's always good for that screen protector to take the brunt of the fall when you drop it. Next up, we're talking the hardware. Now, I'm not much of a specs guy because I just like to see how the device works, but this is rocking a Qualcomm Snapdragon 808 processor. Not the top of the line, but for this phone, it does exactly what's needed, and you don't notice any type of lag or interference while you're using this. The experience is just perfect. Along with that, you have a 6-core 1800 megahertz ARM Cortex A53 and A57 processor, 64-bit. For all you guys that love the specs out there, that's great. I just know that it works well. The graphics processor in this is an Adreno 418, so if you want to play any games or do any activities on this, it's going to pump out exactly what you need and be able to keep up with all those games that you play. Of course, running all that and moving everything all around and jumping to different screens, you got to have some good memory in here. They bumped it up big time with a 3 gigabytes RAM in this for the memory. So you're definitely going to be able to use that Snapdragon processor and the graphics card, and it's gonna be able to work in conjunction, in harmony, and give you enough power. Okay, next up we have the battery, which is something that is extremely important and seems to be a very big bone of contention with a lot of people that use smartphones these days. Well, I've got some good and I've got some bad. It is rocking a 3000 milliamp removable battery, which is very nice. Also a quick charge feature, so if that battery is dying, you can plug it in and get a nice little charge out of it to keep you going. But one of the things that I did with this is give it some heavy use, and sure enough, unfortunately, it didn't last the whole day. I took this off one time at around 11 a.m. and probably made it to about 5 or 6, so not so good. There were times that I was able to take this off around 6:30, 7 in the morning and use it till about 6 or 7 p.m. at night. And again, that was with some medium usage on it. These are things that we're gonna have to deal with until we get better batteries out there and the technology actually can keep up with the phones. But with the quick charging and removable battery on this, I think that kind of takes the bad away and it can make you, decide if you're gonna buy this phone or not. Next up, we have expandable storage. Yes, it's still available on this device because the back is removable. You can expand your storage up to 2 terabytes. 2 freaking terabytes? Yep, you heard that right, as I say it for the 3rd time, 2 terabytes. Can you get a 2 terabyte card? I don't think so. When it's about, it's gonna be expensive as hell. But in the meantime, pick up your 64 gig and be happy with it and save a lot of money and be able to store your pictures and your videos on that. Last but not least, we have the UI, which is extremely pleasant to use. It is rocking Lollipop 5.1. And of course, the skin from LG is extremely light on this, very unobtrusive, and it is a pleasurable experience when you're using this almost pure Android. It does have some gimmicks on it, but those are things that you can just ignore and go on with your day. But one of the features that I do like is the tap to wake and the tap to sleep your phone. A very nice feature on a sizable phone like this, so you're not worrying, looking for that power button, whether it was on the side or on the back on this. It just makes it very easy to use and very nice to hold the phone. So we got a couple bonus things that we want to talk about here real fast. The buttons on the back, the placement. People love this idea of having it where your index finger is going to fit on the back of the phone, especially being the size of the phone. Normally when you have a sizable phone, the power button's on the right side and you can reach that, but then the volume rockers are on the opposite side, kind of out of the way. So the way that they place these on the back is actually ingenious. This has been used since the LG G2. They have made numerous improvements on it, make it a little less obtrusive when you're using it. And it's something that people like because of the size of the phone. It gives them more options to be able to hold the phone a little bit better and not feel like you're moving back and forth between turning it off or when you want to change the volume buttons on this. So I think it's a good thing. Some people say that it isn't. It does take some getting used to, but I think it's a feature that we might see on some other phones in the future. So one last thing, the leather backs that they have available for these, people really do like the way that these look, and it does give it a premium feel to this over the plastic that's on the back of it now. Again, not a bad design for the plastic. It does have that cool little waviness in the back of it, which makes it look nice, but people are really talking big about this leather back that they have to offer. So I'll get my hands on it and try it out, but it's definitely a nice added feature to that. So overall, if you've got the LG G3, do you upgrade to the G4? I say yes, primarily because you've got the increased design on it with the buttons on the back. It's a little bit different than what you have on your G3. The camera quality, woof, blown out the door. The display on the front of this, again, blows it out the door. I did try that G3 last year when it did come out, and I liked it, but I really love the G4. So if you're looking to upgrade or you wanted to upgrade, I don't think you will be unhappy at all if you decide to upgrade. So guys, that about does it for me for the LG G4 review. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please feel free to hit that thumbs up button if you liked what you saw. And of course, to catch my next video, smack that subscribe button and you'll be able to see what's in your inbox when I put it out. So I want to thank you for all your support. You guys have a wonderful day, and you will see me in the next video. I can't believe I cracked that phone. Mother...